Hey Feaster families, Heather here, and today we're going to be looking at a resource that all of our Feaster Charter students have access to. It's Adobe Express. So you are seeing Adobe Express on my screen right now. This is completely accessible through the Student Apps page on your student iPads. Now they will need the app installed, so if you don't have it installed on your class iPads yet, just send either myself or Mr. Carino an email so that we can get it installed. But let's get right into some of the features. Now, one of the things that I was most excited about was the ability for students to now animate from audio. That's going to be an awesome resource for our students to connect to, especially during their writer's workshop time. A lot of times, things like informational writing can be pretty bland for our students. So, allowing them the opportunity to not necessarily just publish their work by sharing a little snippet in the author's chair, but to actually read it aloud to their iPads and then create animations that connect with the work that they're doing is really going to empower the publish phase of the writer's workshop. Another thing that I really loved, especially if you are doing book clubs, is the ability to make class projects and posters. I think that's going to be a really powerful way for students to show their reading comprehension and to make sure that they are connecting the standards to your book clubs. One of the things that I was also really excited about that I know a lot of our Mind Labs teachers are doing is the text to image. So on here, simply by describing a person, place, or idea, or even a mood, it says, you can have it create an image for you. Now, one thing that I do, or one piece of advice that I do offer you all is to make sure that you add for students after whatever it is that you're describing. That will really help us make sure that everything stays more relatable and appropriate for our school content. For example, if I was doing something for Alice in Wonderland Junior, which is our upcoming play, I would say Alice in Wonderland for students. And then I would go generate, and eventually it will create some images for me straight from that text that I did. This will have some great connections to your vocabulary. Again, going back to those book clubs that you may have going. If you have a vocabulary or a dictionary person who's making a cognitive content dictionary, you can actually have them create images from the vocabulary words that you're putting in. Now, you can make it generate more, you can add some different features, you can also make it so that it's more like artistic. So I think that would have some great connections to some of the PowerPoint presentations or different ideas that students are creating. I think that putting a picture with the words really helps some of our students learn the content even more powerfully. So one other thing that I do want to show you before we end this is the ability to make videos, but you can actually have it caption the videos for you. So one of the things that I really love about this, especially for our dual immersion classes, is our students who are in dual immersion, you can actually record a video, maybe it's a tutorial on how to do a math project or something like that. And then students can choose the language that they present the video in, but they can create captions that will show the content in the other language. So, for example, if they presented the video in English, they could create the captions in Spanish. And I think that will be really interesting for our students to try out. Now, one more thing that I just remembered that I wanted to talk about for math. I love the idea of having your students create some infographics. I think that infographics are really powerful, especially if you're using or if you're in like data and statistics or measurement. Any of those math units really connect nicely with some of the infographics. So, what you could do as a may do after your students have finished their must do's or their specifically assigned tasks, you could then have the students go into Adobe Express, create an infographic where they do like a step-by-step tutorial. They would add some graphics on there. If the content connects to graphs or any like measurement tools, they could add those in there. They can choose one of the themes that they already have, or they can create their own. It's totally up to them. But I think that having students create infographics for you would be a great way to get their student work out there. Maybe you would even want to send it home as part of their homework so that they could look and see, oh, when I'm doing this math problem, this student created these steps that I need to follow. Here are some pictures that correlate with each one of the steps. Or even for your parents. I know a lot of our parents have come to us and they're like, I don't understand how the teacher is teaching this math. This is the way that I know it, but this isn't the way that they're showing it. So sharing an infographic that has both text and pictures could be really supportive for your families and for your other students. So that is all Adobe Express. Now there's a ton of things on here, as you can see. There's a lot of really great features that use both AI and that will just really help our students connect with some of the content that we're teaching. So I definitely encourage you to explore Adobe. And again, this is all straight through the CBSD student page. Students and staff can just use your regular logon, and I hope you all give it a try. Please let us know what questions you have. Again, if you do need the app installed on your iPad, just send either myself or Joseph Carino an email and we'll get it installed right away. Thank you so much, Feaster Falcons.